Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning into my channel, Creating in the Waiting. This is Arlene from Savage Art. I am hopping on today to do a brief tutorial with you guys. So I am working in this 4-signature flip-flop journal. And I made, she is so lovely, a few tall tags for her. I want to make one of those with you guys. I'm going to show you kind of the vibe and what we're going to be working on. The base, I'm going to use music sheet, and we'll show you how we're going to do that. I know I missed one. It don't even matter. Let's see, where's it at? Okay, so here's one, and there's another one. Let's see where else I have one of these tucked away. I think I made 3 for sure, so I definitely want maybe 2 more. There's another one. So I'm gonna go ahead and dive right in. I'm gonna move my journal as to not really be distracted by her. I have a couple of images here. I'm gonna make the tag from scratch. So I'm gonna take 2 music sheets. I don't really know why I tore that one by accident, but it's fun. And I'm going to show you how we can glue those, you know, in a way where, so the front and the back, oh no, they're going to be facing the same way, so the writing is going to be the same way, okay? And this should be enough for 2. I should be able to get 2 tags out of this. If not, I'll glue another page. It's no problem. I'm going to use my Tombow glue and just glue these together. I'm not going to back these either. So it's going to be pretty sturdy once all the pieces are on there. And I really like the way the music sheet right now looks on the back. In my sewing machine, I have a really pretty maroon thread in the top, and I have the gold bobbin still there, and so it's going to be gold thread on the front, or no, you know, flip-flop. So gold on the back and the maroon on the front. I'm just going to line those up. And I've already made a couple clusters. Y'all have seen them before. Oh no, I use them. I use my small ones. So we'll make one. It's no problem. It takes like 2 seconds to make. I print my sentiments onto fabric, and then I just have, you know, these I'm probably going to end up using in her, but I forgot I used the small ones that I made. So when we get to that point, I'll get that stuff out. It'll take 2 seconds. No problem. So I am currently looking for it. There it is. I'm going to go ahead and cut the sides off of this, and then I'll cut my tags. And the centerpiece, I'm probably going to use, so I can kind of see what I'm working with. I'm going to just kind of get it leveled off, and I'm not going to keep these pieces. I'm just going to toss them. All right, so let's go ahead. Yeah, and definitely get 2 tags. So this is 3.5. I mean, not that it matters to me. I don't measure anyway. I'm just for y'all's sake. And then just do this one at 3.5 also. And obviously you don't want them that tall, so I'm probably, let's see what that looks like. No, let's make it a little bit taller. Probably gonna keep that. I can do a little pocket with that. Put like vellum. Journal card can be made out of that. So I'll definitely keep these bottom pieces. So I'll just put those up there. And then the way that I get my corners cut is I'll literally just kind of fold it over and snip. Okay, that's good. And I like the bottoms rounded. I mean, it just depends on, I'd change it up some. Sometimes I do all of them this way. Sometimes I just tear them. Sometimes it don't even matter. There are no rules. There are no rules in the junk journal world. It's your journal. Create what brings you joy. So I'm just going to ink up my edges. Sometimes I like a clean look and sometimes I like to ink. So right now we have the base for our tag. So front and back. And again, I'm just really liking this being exposed. And of course, like tags can be utilized for journal cards, just for decoration, bookmarks. So this will be able to serve all purposes because even though the music sheet is there, I mean, you can still write on it. I'm using Archival Coffee. Not for any reason in particular, just because that's what I'm using. Did I not ink that? I'm going to be using my Sari Silk and some really pretty buttons. They are the buttons that have the little hoop thingy. So I'm just going to take my scissors, the ones that are, you know, I don't really use for anything besides this, since they're pretty dull, and just cut that off. So we have two bases, and what I'm going to do is I have a box of scraps here for oh, I might actually use my jelly print. I don't know that I want to cut that though. So I might use these. So I'm going to pull those out. I don't like these really. They're too skinny to put on here. Unless I cut them. So is this going to be too wide? Hold up. I forgot that I'm kind of making a skinnier journal. I might actually have to cut that. Yeah, I might actually have to cut this for it to go in anywhere. I have a top tuck somewhere. So I know I want one here. Yeah, this is going to have to get cut down. So let me, I'm glad before I started, you know, really working on that. I'm just going to take some off the sides. And then just do this little process again, just to even them up. And when I get to the other one, we'll do that. So now that base might actually look pretty good. Yeah, let's use this. So this is a digital tag. I will link the digitals that I'm using in this journal in the description box below. I know for certain I'm using a chapter 1 digital. I'll pull those. I'm also using my lacy papers that I get from Misty. I will link that. Her information in the description box. So what I'm going to want to do is sew around the the inner portion and then probably the outer portion. I'm just gonna glue this down. I don't want to make it a pocket or anything like that. Let's do them both. And we are on day 7 of the 100-day project, and I have not, this will fit in here, so it's fine. I'm not going to cut it any skinnier. I have not done that today, so here in a little bit, I will do those. I have gifted all of them. My intention was to keep them for myself because I create and I end up giving away or selling, and I love the journal cards a lot. I feel like they're my most favorite thing to make, and they are simple yet so beautiful, and there's just so much beauty and simplicity sometimes. And the journal cards are a definite reminder of that. So I'm not going to use doily on it because let me pull these two and see which one I want to use. So that's an option. That's an option. We're going to cut her possibly a little. I think I might actually like this one better. Let me just kind of I'll typically tear, but since these are already pretty cut down, I don't want to end up, you know, doing too much. I'm going to be doing some layering behind them as well. And I know yesterday I had just printed a few more images. Now, with that being said, I'm not really feeling like I want the images to take over my journal. So I'm literally just kind of putting them on my tags and then putting them on a few pages. This was an accident. I didn't mean to print them onto vellum. So I'm pulling these just because I want to see if I actually want to use one of these instead. So I feel like I'm going to use maybe this one instead of her. And then I also like this one at the top. And this is just printed out on 28-pound HP paper. And I am actually going to come over here and just use, I'm using scattered straw. It kind of has like a gold tint to it. Let's maybe cut her. Yeah. Now before, well, it just depends on where I put them on whether or not I will sew. I'm gonna actually sew the inner portion before I put these down. Let's just kind of look and see. Gonna be layering behind her, but I actually think Yeah, so this is what we're gonna do here. I'm gonna glue this down. Just inking this up some, and I'm not rounding these or anything. Take our Tombow. This is one of my favorite glues right now. I love Scotch Permanent, not to be confused with Scotch Create. And then I also love, I'm hoping that you guys can see this a little bit, this Tombow. Beacon 3-in-1 that I am out of right now. I'm using Fabri-Tac, and it's not one of my favorite glues, so now if you were wanting to do this as a pocket on this portion, you could sew or glue here and here and here and then leave this open, and this could be a pocket. I already have one of those, and I don't necessarily really want another one, so again, just taking my scattered straw, inking up my fingernail. That's gonna go there. We're not using her. Where did our other lady go? And then this one is gonna go on here, but I'm gonna sew, I'm actually gonna sew all around the tag right now. So I'm just gonna bring my sewing machine a little bit over this way. My papers fell on the floor. This is one of the papers from Misty. She does beautiful images on there. Okay. This is a pen that I made for the journal. So pretty. I'm already starting to put little bling on her. I'm not wanting to over embellish. I mean, I've only done the first and the second signature, and I can still come through with some things. And I mean, she's pretty chunky on this side already. And then here I need to do a few more ruffles. I've already done her page tabs. We did make boho beads. However, I have some jewelry wire, and I wanted to maybe play with that a little bit more. It had been a while since I made boho beads, and it's not something that I am particularly great at. But I was super pleased with the way that they came out, so. Again, just stitching around the tag. I'm just gonna go ahead and do a zigzag stitch all the way around. So the first tag I've already stitched around the outside, super pretty, and then you have the gold on the back. And now I'm just gonna go around that. And I'm probably gonna do a straight stitch here. Just doing my best. And I'm going to show y'all something in just 1 second. So the one thing about now sewing on the inner tag, and it won't bother me at all, is that now the stitching is going to be like that, but it's fine. And you can write like this. You know, it just adds a little bit more color, a little bit more interest. So that's that one. Let's go ahead and do this one so that they are both done. Gonna do the zigzag around the outside. Let me stop and give my son a super shout out. Not that he watches my channel, but it is his 21st birthday. So happy birthday, son. He is literally the person who taught me what it meant to actually love another human being. I was very in my feelings earlier today. Now going around this tag. So this is really what takes the longest time. And then if I start overthinking, I have let go of feeling like I need everything in my journals to be perfect. That is when they just really don't come out very well. All right, so the sewing part is done. Besides when we come to the cluster, I do sew those. I don't use glue. I also sell those. I will link my Facebook group in the description box below. That is where I do all of my tutorials, and I do create live most of my journals. So let me move this out of the way so that it doesn't start taking over my area. And then I will literally have a huge mess to clean. I am probably going to be using, okay. Cheesecloth. I'm gonna grab some cheesecloth. Where's my pink container? Oh, we'll get a new piece. Or what I could use is my muslin. So I'm gonna tear some of this. And I'm gonna, well, I said I was done with sewing, but I'm not. I lied. Before I glue these down, I'm actually gonna sew around this, and I'm gonna cut this. I'm literally just trying to create that behind her. And it doesn't even necessarily need to be around the whole thing, even if it's just a couple pops, you know, behind in different corners. That's fine too. be the same thing here. Now I will use these strips on clusters and such, so it's never a waste. And in my little blue, or my little pink container, wherever it went, there it is. I have some scrap pieces here that it's literally what I use for clusters. Oh, and I think I actually have, no, that's a red piece of lace. We might actually use that. We shall see. I opened that upside down, but it don't even matter. I'm just gonna throw those there, but there's my cheesecloth. And I'm gonna need a couple pieces of this. But we'll do that in a second. I'm not gonna drag everything out. Let's stick with this. I'm wondering if I want a little color pop behind her. Maybe even if it's just... Yeah, I like that. So I'm just going to take my Tombow . Get that down a little. Okay. Gonna move these. Oh, it was right here. I grabbed another. Ooh, okay, let me not get distracted. You know what we are gonna do actually. Bless me. Bless me. Oh, I didn't alter that one. I have these alter playing cards here. I put this image onto the playing cards via transparent label. We might play with a little bit of those. So yeah. Where did my image go? I don't want her to get lost. Oh, it's fine. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna sew, actually let's sew all of this together maybe. Or I can glue this down already. I think I want her going this way. So I'm just gonna get that kind of on there. Same thing here. And now I'm gonna just simply, well, let's glue this a little bit more now. Gonna do the same thing on this other one. So I typically wouldn't be using Tombow on this. I would typically then come with like my Beacon 3-in-1, but I don't want to use my Fabri-Tac right now. So that's fine. I will get my Fabri-Tac on it later if I need to get up underneath everything, but I am now just going to sew and then maybe do a zigzag here. This one is probably a little bit more dry. So, and the reason why I'm doing this and then gluing it down is because then I don't want all the extra stitching on the back of that now. she's done around the image, I'm gonna go and do a zigzag stitch down the other side where it just has the jelly print. That is a way that you can use your collage spotter and jelly printing, guys. It looks so pretty, just the pops of it. So sometimes it'll look like, what is that? Like when it's literally on the page and you wouldn't know how to use it, that's how you can use it. So then we have that. Do the same thing around this lovely lady. Sometimes I like the stitching to be wonky, and that is what I did on here. And so my bobbin ran out. I'm literally just going to take 2 seconds and get a little bit more gold on that. So just give me 1 second, and I'm just going to do a little bit, enough to finish this project up. Super lovely so far. My favorite part is adding the silk and the beautiful buttons and my word sentiments. But they look super lovely just like that. Going to be starting another flip-flop journal here in the next couple of days. She is going to be the same size as this one that I'm working on, and then may or may not start a little golden book. I have already took the signatures out of 101 Dalmatians, and if I did that one, I really wanted to just take on a Corilla DeVille vibe, just really kind of focus on her. However, I'm not inclined to start doing that. I mean, all the journals that we make are a lot of work. Little golden books are just extremely custom. Okay, so that's definitely good enough. And let's finish this top part up. I was trying to get it directly on top of the stitching before I did a really good job. Don't really know what I did here though. Really don't know what I did there. I think the needle was like there first. All right. So now we can glue them down because I don't want anything else underneath them. I do not want, I mean, I like the threading, but sometimes it's too much. Now here I am actually going to take my Fabri-Tac. Okay. I'm going to do a little cluster here. Making sure I'm getting around the edges and, you know, just a little bit in the middle. So you have 2 tags. Now let's make these clusters. Don't need my paintbrush for that. So I want some little words. We could do believe, but I'm gonna see what else I have. Don't really want to do abide or restore, faith, joy. Don't really want to do friend. I already have create. If anything, we can use that one. Do I have creative? I've used inspire already. And then honestly, I'm gonna stop digging in these and just, I've already used love. I've used imagine. About to move on. Okay, whatever we have, we're using. So let's use restore and let's use believe. Okay, putting them away, not getting distracted, and because then I'll start thinking, oh, I want to make stamps. Oh, I want to do this. Oh, no, we're putting it up. We're focusing on this. So I'm gonna just, okay. First, what I'm gonna do is kind of cut up around this some. I'm gonna fray that a little bit. Don't know why I'm holding my scissors that way. Then after I'm done with this live, or not live, after I'm done with this tutorial, I am going to hop on live and start working in my journal a little bit. Say hi to my fam over there. I haven't been on live today. It doesn't feel right. Doesn't feel right. But you know, I went and did a little scavenger hunt trying to find 21 goodies for my son. Okay, on my cluster for this, what I'm gonna want to do is I'm just gonna cut some of this. Don't want too much of it. I just want the layering. I just want the fraying behind it. Now we're just layering. Okay, so we got cheesecloth. That looks great, love it. We got some boho fabric. Just want some of that behind there. Let's see what this is looking like. Let's start on this tag. Trying to decide kind of where I want it. No, I don't even know why I tried that. I always do that. I'm like, I know I want it down here, but let's just see what it looks like there. And then I think I want maybe a little bit of white behind that. I like the white using the unbleached, unstained cheesecloth, as well as the tea stained cheesecloth. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is cut a portion large enough for the both of them. Get a piece of this tea stained cheesecloth so that we are done in here. Okay, That is going to go on my second one. And now I'm just going to cut a piece large enough for the back of that. If it doesn't show on all ends, I don't even care. I'm just going to fray it, make it roll tattered. Don't even matter. I don't want it to be any type of particular shape. None of that. Beautiful. Okay, so I'm gonna sew literally just around the believe. But let's do this cluster so we can sew them both at the same time. Same thing. And I like putting my piece there and then just kind of going like that. Let's get another piece of our boho fabric. Let's just, I'm wanting some of the gold. Just gonna snip, snip, snip. Looks lovely. I don't want to use that part. Okay, I need it this way. Again, same thing. My son's girlfriend's throwing him a 21st birthday party this evening. I took them breakfast, dropped his little gift off, said hey, hey. Now I'm feeling like once I fray this, it'll be fine. Don't want to cut it any shorter. Just literally not trying to grab that. And then we're going to do a little wonky ruffle. So let me sew those. Sewing on the smaller fabric sentiments are it's a little bit harder. So I'm just, you know, taking it a little bit slower. Okay, I'm gonna use my Fabri-Tac. And then we'll do a little ruffle and we'll do our topper. I'm gonna get those loose pieces. I'm gonna sew on this one, just trying to flatten that out so that it doesn't sew together bunched up back there. I literally stay with cheesecloth attached to my body. Okay. Just gonna thread my needle really quickly as the tension. Okay. I love sewing. It's so relaxing. Y'all, I know y'all have heard me say this time and time again. I never sewed a day in my life. Never, never, never. And I was like, I don't want to sew. I don't want to learn that. I don't want to teach myself that. I don't want to learn something new. I'm learning all this new stuff already. But I literally kept buying anything with the slightest little stitch on it. I'm like, oh, you selling that? It could literally just be a little piece. I'm like, I'll buy it. $50. Like, I just love the look of sewing. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna buy a cheap sewing machine. And I just literally, I was like, this is so confusing. How do I do this? And I taught myself how to sew in like one day. I'm like, we're gonna figure this out. And there ain't no going back. Well, let me tell you. Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Now, for the fun stuff. I feel like on these, I might actually want this gold ruffle. Just a little wonky ruffle down at the bottom. And I just want a little bit. And honestly, I think that this is probably going to be too much. Let's just kind of... Gonna get it on there the way I like, and then I'm literally just gonna do a little straight stitch. And I'm covering up the E. Ah, it's so cute. Okay, it's gonna look so cute. And the maroon threading is gonna be on top, and I feel like that's just gonna look so pretty on this sari silk. Okay. Might put a button, might not put a button. I'm gonna do the same thing. Just piecing it together. It's cute. I love it. Just sew it. I just stabbed in my tag. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. I just did the same thing. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So I struggle with tags. 100% struggle with tags. Looking at a digital kit, I'm like, what do I do with this? I don't like tags. I don't understand tags. But I love doing book pages, journal pages, and just creating. It's beautiful. What's going to be even more beautiful is the topper we're about to do. See how simple this is. Ooh, watch me say that. Okay, let me see which toppers I want. Now, I have these really pretty buttons, but they create a lot of bulking. So I'm not necessarily really wanting to use those. They are beautiful. I'm looking for ones that are kind of gold, that aren't going to be bulky. So these might work. That's probably going to be too bulky. And what I'm going to do is actually now just come here and put these here. I wanted to use these, but I'm not using those in my journal. That will just cause too much bulking that I don't want. You know, on the cover, Great Wonderful, I didn't have those. I might have done that on the cover. Now I'm going to take not these, but these, and just cut that back piece off. Yeah, I use my scissors. A lot of people, they've stopped saying it all my lives, but they're like, are you using your scissors for that? And I'm like, yeah, it's fine. I'm not even worried. Like, just use your scissors. It's cool. I grab whatever tool that I have next to me and I use it. Now, I won't do my other scissors like that because it does dull them. Now, what I want to do is just kind of this, not making a flower, just wanting like a, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my stapler and I'm going to staple it. Look at that, it's cute. Then we're going to glue our little centerpiece just like that. It's just a messy da-da-da like that. Well, which way do I want it? I kind of wanted it going that way, but let's... Okay, for one, I'm just going to glue it down. Then we'll do our other one. Have that poking up at the top. Okay, gonna use this and kind of wipe that glue up. And what I'm actually gonna use now, since I don't have my beacon, I'm not using my fabric tack on my button, I'm gonna take my E6000, because this button ain't going nowhere now, boy. Not when E6000 gets a hold of it. And I'm going to let that dry. I'm actually going to get a little bit more up underneath there. Trying not to make a mess with it. Okay. It will dry flat, so I'm gonna hold it here for just a second to get the E6000 to dry and catch a little bit. Then I'm gonna have to get this from up underneath my nail. So you have that as a topper. And that's your tag. We need a button. We need something here. So I'm using these little brown buttons. I have some more of them. Just one second. And I will find my little brownies. So these buttons are on the cover. I get those buttons at Joann's. Most of my buttons I get at Joann's. Unless I have vintage buttons that I purchase from shops on Etsy or I get from Two Sister. Okay, for real? Where's my brownies? Definitely need a little button on that. These are going to be too big. And I know I had another package of little brown buttons. Those are gold. Okay, here's a little brown button. So we'll use that one. And then we'll use that one. I'm gonna put these up as to not be distracted by my buttons. And when I say distracted, I will literally start sitting here and feeling like I need to clean, organize, and then it always just kind of ends up like this. And that's fine. I can find everything. I don't want to get caught up being overly trying to, you know, no. Because then I will sit here for hours. Now, I don't know whether or not I want to hear. Yeah, I actually feel like I'm needing it maybe here. Move that so I can see what I got going on. So what I'm gonna actually do, guys, is I'm having some beacon being delivered tomorrow. When I get my beacon, I'm gonna fix that. I mean, the E6000 is going to do the trick, because now I can feel it starting to catch. So that's fine. If I had another button to match, that would be great. This one's not going to match, so I'm not really going to want to use that. Okay, I'm feeling like I definitely like that button there. I'm gonna use my FabriTac. And typically I'll thread them. I'm not really feeling the need with everything going on this card, tag, whatever, to thread it, so it's fine. So that one is done. Move this out of the way. I have lost that piece of sari silk. I really didn't want to cut another one. Now, I'm okay with that, but it can be better. Let's just kind of do it this way, maybe. I like doing them separate. I know I'm not going to be able to, okay. Not going to be able to fold the other one going in that direction. On top is where it's going to be the problem. Okay, I'm just going to staple this, and if I have to move stuff around, I will. Trying to move my finger out of the way. I'm gonna have to fix that a little bit. Let's just see what it looks like. It's cute like that. So what I'm gonna do is put a little bit of glue here and fold this in on itself to create another little ruffle type deal there, and then that's going to go in the center. So if this was Beacon, I wouldn't be having this issue. It would be dry already. I could probably get away with using my Tombow right now. I was trying to get that off the top of my bottle. It's a scrap piece of doily. Now I'm going to just place that up there. Hold that down a little bit, and then we will put the button on the inside. I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you have not taken a moment, please hit the like and subscribe button. Find us on Facebook. I would love to have you there. We are gearing up for our 2,000 member contest, and I am going to be creating one of my biddies. It's going to be lightly embellished, and it's going to be made with one of my favorite Stamperias. So that's what that's gonna look like, and so cute like that. I love it, and it has the tones on both sides. Lovely. So definitely when I get my beacon, I'm going to go in and look at all of this. But those are our tags. Super easy, super beautiful. Create what brings you joy, peace, and be inspired by those around you, and share what you learn, because everything that I do, I have learned or seen somewhere. Y'all be blessed and have a great day.